Good evening. My name is Andrea Smith. I am in Counseling 500. This evening we're going to talk about the 4 videos that were reviewed in our class upon the different skills. The first one is the listening cycle. In that video, the counselor was able to empathize with the client in that she was concerned about her relationship, which was very important to her. The boyfriend worked a lot of hours, and her concern was she felt left out many times. And she also touched upon how she felt their future may be looking. And the counselor brought up the fact that, well, did she feel like there was going to be a future, and was her concern was how was all the household responsibilities going to fall on her. And then he also said, well, let me summarize what I'm hearing. So that let the client know that he was actually listening. And then the second video touched upon the invitational skills. And what I particularly liked about that was the counselor immediately said, thank you for coming in tonight. And that let the client know that he realized that it was a privilege for her to listen to him and for him to be able to share and feel comfortable sharing. And his concern was he was in a bad car accident and had developed some anxiety and panic attacks. So she had listened, and she also empathized with him, and she let him know that his feelings were valid and his concern. Even when he said he saw brake lights, he would start to have a panic attack. So I felt like she validated his feelings as far as letting him know, we can work through this, and if that is your fear, we can work through it. And then there was the third video, that was the reflecting feelings. This young lady felt like she was responsible for the peace and happiness within her household. And the counselor actually empathized with her, but one thing he was able to draw her was how did she feel about everyone else in the family. She shared that she had some resentment towards her brother because she said that he had moved on and gone on to college and was living his life, and she felt like she was kind of stuck there. And the client particularly said, oh, so you do resent that a little bit, that you feel like you're stuck, and why are you the one that's been chosen to take on this responsibility? And he even brought up the fact that also it kind of feels good to be responsible, but at the same time it's a burden, and she agreed. I felt like this young lady could actually benefit from cognitive therapy, because it seemed like her feelings had turned into a behavior and reaction. Then there was the final of the reflective meaning, where the young man had moved up from South America and had moved his parents up as well, but he felt like he was going back to his childhood because he had to always tell them where he was going. And what I particularly liked was the counselor said, well, coming from South America, tell me a little bit about your culture. I know you're responsible for your family, and family is important. So those were the 4 things, and I felt like this really mirrored what a counseling session would look like, in particular where they empathized with the client and were able to validate some of their feelings. Thank you.